My soul family, back with another download. In this new era of my life and in your life, we will need to have an appreciation of flow, going along with the current, not fighting against the current, okay? Not trying to pull ourselves against the current, but just flowing. Likened unto, I love feeding the ducks when I go out, maybe to the lake or just to another place where there's water and there's ducks and throwing out the bread or whatever, feeding the ducks. But if you watch ducks in water at any park, at any lake, they go with the flow. Okay, they just kind of go right along with the way the water is going. Okay, they don't fight against the current. All right, what prompts us to fight against the current is because we sometimes feel like we know that there's a better way for us, and we don't want to go with the flow. We're used to fighting against, we're used to fighting for, we're used to having to battle. Where you're in a new era of life where those battles have been eradicated, okay? And you're moving into a place of flow, into a place of ease. And you're getting comfortable with that, all right? Anything that is flowing, all right? And anything that isn't putting up a resistance is a lot more powerful than something that is putting up the resistance, all right? A lot more powerful. Look at water. Let's just use water for an example. Water is a force that cannot be stopped, okay? So water is a life force. Water carves things out. It gives things life, and it just flows, all right? It just flows. Anytime you see stagnant water, you're gonna see the gathering of mosquitoes. You're not gonna see a lot of life in that area because there isn't any flow. But anytime that there is flow, there is life. All you have to do, soul family, is step into the flow of life. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Step into the flow, all right? Your heart, as you are healing and transforming, is gonna direct you right toward the flow, all right? Right toward the thing that is best for you, all right? The key here is not to become so logical about the path or the flow. I think that's where we mess up at. We become so logical and we are really thinking, I know what's best for me, so I'm not gonna get in the flow. I'm gonna keep fighting against the current. You're gonna wear yourself out. You're gonna wear yourself out, all right? There are processes in place here in our life, in our universal existence that have nothing to do with your logical mind, all right? When you blink, you don't force yourself to blink, all right? When you breathe, you're not forcing yourself to breathe. Everything is flowing. Nature is flowing, all right? When you're out in the forest and you're looking at trees, everything is flowing. No one is turning on a light switch to make the trees grow in the forest. Everything is on a natural cycle. But sometimes we as humans feel like we can dictate how that natural cycle goes, and then it causes us to fight against life, all right? There are things that have shown up in your life that you did not create your connection to, but you're fighting against that connection even though you didn't create it. You're fighting against it as if you have the ability to cause that connection to go away, but you don't. No matter how bad you want your eyes to stop blinking, you don't have the ability to make them stop blinking. You can close them, but eventually you're gonna have to open them and they're gonna blink. You can't control a connection that you cannot control if you see that there is something that has come into your life that you did not create, thank you, Holy Spirit. A connection that you cannot control. All right? Go with the flow. Flow with it. See where it takes you. All right? So instead of fighting against it and looking at it as if it is not the best for you, flow with it. Go with the flow. You're in a new era. In the old era, you fought against everything because you just knew that you knew what was better for you. Well, you figured out. You made some choices that railroaded you. I've done the same thing. You've gone some ways that left you sitting in a pool of regret. I've done the same thing. All right? But now we're in a new era. We're not trying to create anything that isn't already created. We're stepping into the flow of the creation that is already there. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And then because of that, we're manifesting the abundance of life, the love of life, okay, the wealth of life, the opportunities of life. And it's easier. It's so much easier just to flow than to fight. I don't know about you, but I've grown to a place where I don't have any boxing gloves on anymore. I'm not hyper focused on the fight. I'm just easing into the flow. Okay, so family, let's ease into the flow. All right? And let's just see where it takes us. All right? I believe that we're going to have the best of life, but it can only happen when we stop fighting against the flow. Okay? I'll see you on the next download. Toodles.